What's good with y'all, bro, man? Quick little video. It's not gonna be too long. You feel me? Um, I want to talk about the natural order of things. I want motherfuckers to know that this shit is deeper than you think it is. You know what I'm saying? Everything has a divine order. The fox does what the fox does. The turtle does what the turtle does. They all follow their nature, right? And in nature, they have mating rituals just like we do. You know how we have to go up and talk to the bitch and blah 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 blah. We have to convince her that we're worthy in her mind, but really we're trying to see if she's worthy to fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? That's the game that you got to run. All in all, what this journey has taught me is that I deserve better for myself. So you got to play your role. You know what I'm saying? You got to play that alpha role. You got to roll up on her and get. You got to roll up on the scene and get that bitch. You know what I'm saying? You got to play both sides because I believe getting in the bitch's head. Most content creators out here that talk this, this dom game or the semen retention, they all talk about it from an alpha standpoint. I talk about it from both ways. You know what I'm saying? I believe you should think like a woman and act like a man. How do you think that the order of homosexual relationships go? There's a top and there's a bottom. There's a male and there's a woman. There's a submissive and there's a dominant, right? That's clear in a homosexual relationship. Why is it in a straight relationship that we can't decipher the two? You know what I'm saying? There's women who want to be alpha and they want to rule and they want a man beneath them. And there's men who feel the same way, but the women won't act right. Or the man does submit. You know what I'm saying? And the woman isn't happy. She got what she wanted, but she's not happy. It's because, fellas, they don't understand themselves what they want. You know what I'm saying? They know what they want in the moment, but when they get it, they don't know how to react. So they try and achieve more. It's so simple. The way the game has been broken down to me this last year, man, I get it. You know what I'm saying? We make the decisions for them. We have to let them know what their order in society is. It's they are to submit. They all want to submit. They all want to. They all dream of being dominated. Even the alpha ones, they like to be dominated. You know what I'm saying? But they don't. They think that it's a weakness to submit. They don't mind, especially the bitches that play with other bitches. They don't mind submitting to another woman, but they wouldn't do it to another man because they think that the man will take advantage of that. They think the man giving him that power is dangerous, but they'll give that to a woman. A man will give that to another man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta really break it down and go in depth to understand the psychology because it's deeper than me making a couple videos. It's deeper than that. You gotta really understand how damaged and afraid these women are. All of it is fear. These women are fucked up out here. We think that they crystal clear and they golden, but like I explained to you, people hide behind faces. They hide behind faces. I just learned something that really fucked my head up, man. In nature, the most beautiful woman, whether, no matter the species. Like, for instance, though, with a frog, the most beautiful frog is the most poisonous one. It lures you in, you touch it, you eat it, you lick it, whatever, you fucking die. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with these bitches. That's the way that nature was intended. We're not meant to fuck with every woman. Even though we could repopulate with damn near everyone, we not meant to because there are a lot of loser women out there. There's a lot of evil women out there, self-destructive, hopeless, you know what I'm saying? Vindictive. There's a lot of bad women out there. There's a lot of good women too. We don't get to encounter those types of bitches. I don't want to leave it up to hope. I mean, that's reality. There's a lot of good women out there. I was raised by good women. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their flaws, but this is what I'm talking about where you got to build the bitch up. They will come like that, but these bitches come with attitudes. They come with, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to give in. They don't know what they like. You have to introduce that to them. A woman doesn't know what she likes sexually until a man does that for her or somebody who, she submitted to does that for her. She doesn't know what she likes. She doesn't know if she's satisfied with a 10-inch cock or she's satisfied with a 6-inch. She don't know that until she experiences it. You know what I'm saying? They think they have these fantasies in their head about a man that can dominate them and the perfect man. They live off of fantasies, fellas. What you tell her, and this shit tripped me out when I realized this. Every single thing you tell a woman, she remembers. On God, a woman will hit you up 5 years from now with some shit you said, and you're like, how the fuck you remember that? They do that. What they hear, man. You get in their ear, you 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 rule the world, man. You rule the world. When you get in her head, you rule the world because in her mind, she is the world. You rule her world. You rule the world of the relationship. You are the sun to her earth. You understand what I'm saying, man? This submission, they don't realize they have power with the submission. That they don't realize that shit. There's power in the submission. You giving yourself to the man creates the order of the relationship. It creates the man and woman dynamic. You can't have two men in a relationship. Somebody has to be feminine. You can't have two women in a relationship. Somebody has to be masculine. Whether they choose to dress up or act that way, they have to. It, you cannot have two of the same. That's why we were created separately. You get what I'm saying, man? It's like they don't they don't understand that. They think that everything revolves around them. You gotta really be that nigga, man. You really got to, because you gotta get in the bitch's head. You gotta dominate her psychologically. You gotta tell her things. Like I said, she remember everything. So you gotta tell the bitch when she's good. You gotta tell her when she's bad. You gotta reward her. You gotta take away. You gotta leave. You gotta let her come back. You have to let her make these choices because you cannot control somebody. You can't. That's, the world isn't made for that. If you tie a bitch up and leave her in the dungeon, she will eventually be freed. You know what I'm saying? They do what they want because they submit to that order. If you allow your woman to go out there dressed provocatively and shit, and that don't mean that you can stop her, but if you claim that bitch, you fucked up. If you let her go out there and do that shit knowing you love that bitch, that's your fault. You gotta let her go out, see that you don't give a fuck. And when you find out she cheating, you gotta do the race on that bitch and get the fuck up out of there. What I'm saying is that you have to understand there is a dynamic. It has to be order and control. There has to be chaos with that shit. The woman is chaos. You have to let her act how she acts. You gotta weed out the bad ones. But she has to know that you are the alpha. She has to submit to you fully. I mean, sexually, financially, physically. She has to know that you are the man to provide for her. You have to make that clear, though. There cannot be any confusion with that. That's why you pass these tests with flying colors, because you already know the type of vibe you running into. You feel me? She has to know that you are that nigga. That's why you build yourself up so that you can handle these types of tasks, because a man isn't meant to be alone. We can, but we're not meant to be. A woman physically cannot. We can be, we just choose not to be. So if you want a little shorty, man, if you want somebody to fuck with, want somebody to rock with, you got to be able to put up with their behavior. And it's easy once you understand it. Once you understand it, once you go into the mind of a woman and understand that she lives vicariously, moment to moment. What she feels today, she will not feel tomorrow. Her mood swings eventually sweep over. I've seen so many good men, so many players, so many womanizers. I've seen them crumble at the hands of a woman in a marriage. Marriage is the destruction of man. I said that shit. It's the destruction of man. It ain't the dollar bill. It's a marriage, because we can put aside our material needs. We can put aside certain things for money and things that don't matter. When it comes to love, that's a feeling that will make or break you, and you can't love a bitch. You can just really like her. And I struggle to understand that concept, but really it's like that bitch that you fuck with but you never considered cuffing. You know how she was so in love with you? I had a few like that, my nigga. I had a few where I just fucked them. If I liked them, I kept fucking with them, and it was never a thought in my mind. There was something about her that kept me from cuffing her, but there was never a thought in my mind to make her my bitch. Some women, I wish I had that mentality, because I was so much more alpha when I was doing that. And this is without semen retention. I was just fucking these hoes and busting and going about my day, right? I had that mentality then, but when I got my heart in the mix, I became weak. The same women that, I used to have rules with the bitches, and they used to love that shit. I used to have rules. I used to say, I used to make them repeat the rules to me. So I would take a bitch out, or we would meet up, we would do something, or we would go fuck. I said, when you see me, every time you wear no panties, no panties, none. I don't want them. Yes, daddy. Okay. She wears panties, she gets punished, and I make sure that she understands I'm not with that shit, right? I would tell her, what is the number one thing you have to do? Please, daddy. Good girl. I reward her. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure they know that their respect for you it has to be there. It has to be there. She has to respect you, and she respects you by you always maintaining frame. These same bitches that I had these rules with, they broke them and continue to break them because they stopped respecting me because I put my heart out there instead of just saying, nah, bitch, you go and do what you want. You gotta separate the three. You gotta separate your mind, your heart, and your dick because they're all separate entities. You cannot allow them to all bleed through a bitch because she will take advantage of that. Like I say, man, if you give your opponent an open lane, that nigga's gonna drive. If you give him the open shot, he gonna take it. So play lockdown defense. You play defense with the bitch as soon as the game starts. As soon as the game starts, you start shit talking the bitch. You start D'ing her up. You make sure her field goal percentage is minimal. She got to score, otherwise, you controlling her. But you got to make sure you keep her below 20. You can't ever let her ball out on you, and you cannot let her disrespect you, man. That's the number one thing. You understand that. You realize that order is easier to achieve than you think it is. Because a lot of men don't hear these terms and they don't think how can I do it my way? How can I get it this way? Because every man has their own philosophy to it. They don't think like how can I achieve this? It seems so like hard. I'm not that guy. You have to mold yourself. You got to realize that we are spiritual beings in a human body. This isn't real, man. It's just what we're capable of seeing. This skin, this flesh, it's not real. What you are is how you feel, is what you think. You're not what you do or say. You understand what I mean? Like, you're everything that you think of, everything that's near and dear to your heart. If you a man that likes cooking, that is your soul's purpose. That is what your soul enjoys. It's not what the body enjoys. The body enjoys water, my nigga. The body enjoys chips and soda. It makes it feel good. You know what I'm saying? What you generally are happy doing, that's your soul's purpose. You realize that what you do to your soul, your body is. So if you work out, you working out your soul too. You're making yourself good. You understand what I'm saying? What you put in, you put out. So the type of man you are has to be in direct compensation with the type of woman you're. I don't even know if I use that word right. It has to be directly linked to that woman. So the better man you are, the better women you attract, and the more submissive they're going to be because they view you as the alpha male. A lot of niggas aren't on this type of mindset that I'm speaking to y'all. That's why it's such a blessing for you to get this information, because not only because I believe in myself and I believe in what I'm saying, but because you have the advantage on other niggas. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter your height, bro. If you 5'6", you use all that 5'6" frame. I'm 6'3", so some of my advice might not apply to you. You gotta find your own way. Being 5'6", nigga, you gotta find what you good at. It's so much, bro. I'm telling you, you do not have to have looks to be with a bitch. They don't give a fuck about looks. It matters, but it don't. It's like every team needs a good rebounder. But if he's not getting 16 to 20 a night, it's all good. As long as he gets that 7 or 8, you know what I'm saying? That's all we need. You got to get in the door with your looks. If you fucked up and butt ugly, she ain't going to talk to you. But if you look good enough for appearances, you take care of yourself, your looks are the least important. Your dick game it's important, but it's not even that important, nigga. You got to get in her head. She has to know that she is beneath you. She has to feel that way. She has to feel like she's walking with a fucking trophy, nigga. Like you are the shit. You got to make yourself that way, and she will attract the quality woman. What you put in, you get out, my nigga. I don't know how else to put it to you. The type of nigga you are is the type of woman you will receive. And you will learn to dominate her if you want her to stay. She'll come. It's up to you to make her stay, though, my nigga. If what you were looking for is a complete life, you have to go after that life, and you have to attack it in every single facet possible. If one day you dream of a family, you got to get that family, and you can't look for the woman that'll blindly love you and shit. You gotta look for the woman that respects you. You gotta think in foresight. A woman thinks right now. That's the advantage we have. That's why we're the leaders, we're the providers, because we can think in a way that they can't. You gotta think, if you want to hook up with this woman and you want to have kids with her and shit, is she going to respect you enough to not put you on child support? Is she going to be a good co-parent? Is she going to help you in ways that you can't help yourself? If she's doing all these good things, you gotta think, if things don't work out, are you gonna be stuck on child support? Are you gonna be stuck on, I hope you don't get married, but are you gonna be stuck on alimony? Is she going to go after you? You have to know, not every woman will. My mom was not one to put my father on child support. Only if she had nothing. Like, she literally could not provide. It's not out of, I still love or respect him. It's, I don't want to put a man through that. I don't want to put the father of my children through that. You know what I'm saying? There are good women out here, so you got to understand, what are you really looking for? What are you what are your goals out here? You figure that out, you know how to dom a woman because you know what you're looking for. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all got to keep y'all head up, man. Keep thinking on this alpha mentality. Do not allow yourself to crumble and succumb to bullshit. I'm out this bitch. Peace.